Hi, I'm James Coco. I'm in the middle of making my second film for Otto Preminger. This one's called Such Good Friends, and I'm exhausted. I mean, it's not too easy sometimes working for Otto Preminger, even if you get along with him very well. And I happen to get along with him fantastically. As a matter of fact, somebody came on the set once when we were shooting one of the scenes from the film, and they said, why is it that, you know, we've heard that the terrible tempered Otto Preminger, and we've heard that you get along with him so well. And I said, I try to remain as unobtrusive as possible and keep out of his hair. I remember the day they were shooting a scene at the Guggenheim Museum, and I wasn't involved in that particular scene. And I saw these men on a camera, and like twirling around in a circle. I didn't know what they were doing, but it was Otto directing a very special kind of scene. They had these men had to turn these other men around on this camera, but I remember the scene involved Diane Cannon and Larry Luckenbell. And the character of Julie Messenger, the part that Diane plays in the picture, is a very difficult character. I mean, Otto and Diane had quite a scene together, and he was trying to get her to do something. Now, that may also be Otto's way of working. He treats me quite differently. I mean, he treats everyone in a different way. I've been asked whether Otto Preminger is a dictator. It's a hard question, but yes, he is a dictator, but I wouldn't want it any other way. I mean, I like that kind of treatment. I want the director to tell me what to do. He's terrific with me. He really is. For instance, the undressing scene, which was a very difficult scene to do. It's not easy to have your clothes taken off when you look like me. But when we did the scene, lots of things happened, and he was wonderful about it. The suggestions that he made, interpretation, things that he suggested were really right on.
Does the pain move down from the right side or to the left? Julie, would you do me a favor? Okay, excuse me, Mrs. Reiner. It was my child, Julie. Could you hold on? I just want her to see if her mother's coming. Just a minute.
In Otto's last movie, I had to learn how to drive a truck. And in this picture, I had to learn how to ride a sports car. They're a little uncomfortable for me. But anyway, I went out and learned how to drive this wonderful white sports car convertible. And we were doing this scene, and let me let you know a little secret. I didn't drive that car. It was pulled. I mean, there is a crate in front of me, and with ropes and things, we shot this scene. I mean, after all that practicing, they pulled it. I mean, I wouldn't kid you. Feeling better?
I'm car sick.
Listen, Julie, if you think you're gonna throw up, tell me and I'll pull over. I don't mean to sound heartless, but when you're in a white car, I would think it was very important that this film be shot in New York. It had to be New York. The outdoor scenes, the kind of people that they are in the script called for that. I mean, I can't see this being shot in Kansas. I was there the day they did the accident scene. It involved Diane Cannon and Ken Howard. And it was done on one of the busiest streets in New York. And to be able to do the scene well, the traffic had to be stopped for, well, practically the whole day. And, I mean, who's going to get permission to stop traffic on one of the busiest streets in New York? And then you have the real people standing around watching the scene being done. I mean, you have to keep those people quiet. But Otto did. They obeyed him. I mean, there was an enormous amount of difficulty in directing a scene. I mean, you're dealing with 75 cars, hundreds of extras, and it didn't seem to worry Otto too much. Things like that don't, I think he thrives on that.
Get up, please. Get up. No, get up.
And he was in the middle of it all. I mean, you could see the famous head shining in the middle of the day, and you always knew that he was there controlling it. And indeed, he did control it. And then we had a scene that we were shooting in, a cocktail party scene. We were shooting the scene, and Jennifer O'Neill, who is gorgeous. I mean, if you saw Summer 42, you know what I'm talking about. She's just beautiful. And she was dressed beautifully in this scene. And we were all supposed to be eating this bowl of black bean soup. And the scene was going beautifully. And all of a sudden, she slipped. And the black bean soup went all over her dress and all over her face. And it was a tragic moment for her. And we had to stop whatever we were doing, get her cleaned up and get the dress sent out and cleaned, and then start all over again.
Behold, black bean soup with a soup song of garlic, sherry, crisp bacon, and sour cream. Now, many chefs will tell you sherry or sour cream. I merely laugh at their timidity.
I was up this morning at 6 o'clock. That's not easy for me. And the car picked me up and we went to a hospital. I mean a real hospital where the people are wheeled through. Not actors, I mean real people. I mean, there's nothing like, at 6 o'clock in the morning, reporting on the set, and suddenly seeing a body wheeled by. I mean, that's, you know, with your coffee. But you get used to anything, and after working with Otto, I'm used to that. I remember when I was visiting the set one day, I wasn't involved in the scene myself, but I was watching the scene being shot, the blood bank scene being shot. There were lots of people in that scene. Otto demands absolute silence when he directs. He asks you in a nice way at first, of course, to please be quiet while the scene is being shot. He doesn't like to hear any talking going on. And then if he does hear talking, then he gets a little tougher with you, like he hits you or something. He never hit me. But I mean, you could feel that he would, you know, if he were angry enough. A lot of people were involved in the scene, and somebody kept talking in the background, and finally Otto, in a rage, said, "Who is that is making all that noise?" And he turned around, and there was this woman standing there, you know, there was an extra, I guess, and he turned to her and he said, "I will have absolute silence on this set." He said, "You are fired." And the woman looked around and said, "I don't even work here. I was just visiting somebody, you know." And she was a visitor in the hospital. And he turned to her and said, "You're fired anyway." But that's Otto. I couldn't wait for the day before yesterday because I was told that was going to be the cafeteria scene between myself and Diane Cannon. And I love cafeteria scene. I thought that's going to be a nice, relaxing kind of day, and I was really looking forward to it. There are very few things I don't like to eat. One of them is baked apples. I hate baked apples. So we got to the cafeteria that day, and I was really looking forward to my lunch. And the script called for something, you guessed it, baked apples. But I'm a trooper, and I thought, well, this will be a one-take shot, so I'll manage to eat a baked apple and blueberry pie. I don't like blueberry pie very much either. But it was blueberry pie. That's, you know, the script said blue. And Otto wanted it to be blueberry pie. And if Otto wants it to be blueberry pie, it's blueberry pie. And I said to Diane, let's really do this one good because I hate baked apples and blueberry pie. And she said she would try. We were there for 16 hours, maybe something like that. I figured that I had consumed 71 baked apples and 39 halves of blueberry pie. I hate baked apples and blueberry pie. Sure, Otto is a hard-driving director. He's a perfectionist, and he demands perfection around him. He wants it done his way, but he'll listen to you. I mean, if there is a problem, if you're having a problem with the scene, he will discuss it with you. And I know many times during the shooting of the film, we sat quietly in a corner, and I would say, "Otto, I don't really believe this moment," or I'm having a hard time with this moment. And he asked me why, and we would analyze it together. We would feel it out together, and arrive at a conclusion together. But he knows what he wants. He demands to get what he wants, and he does get what he wants. He's very controversial. I mean, he just doesn't make a picture. I mean, you have to sit up and take notice. You may not like it, but you will discuss it. I am very happy to be working for him in such good friends because we are such good friends.